Hey everybody. So, I'm getting organized to start filming for the new season, and it's kind of funny. So, getting my cameras ready to go, I stumbled across 2 episodes worth of footage that I recorded and then never did anything with. It just kind of got lost in the shuffle and all the hubbub with having to get ready for my shoulder surgery and Katie having to go back to school in September, and we had a couple of things go south in our personal life that kept me away from y'all for the last few months. But we're coming back, and just for the hell of it, since I've already got the footage, I'm sitting here kind of editing everything together and turning it into something halfway watchable for you where you might actually learn something. So go get a drink, sit back, and enjoy Bush Hippies Season 3 Lost Episodes. Hi, Kate.
Does limited refrigerator space keep you from taking advantage of bulk discounts on perishables? Because if it does, I got something that'll help you out. I'll show you how to do it when I get home from Walmart.
Alrighty, and through the magic of video editing, I just drove from Mount Vernon to Alger in like half a second. So, meal prep. It's very, very helpful if you're a parent, especially a single parent. Okay. Um, it's going to be really critical for me and Cadence this year just because it's official. I need shoulder surgery. It's happening sometime in the next couple months. I'm just waiting for the approval from L&I. So that being the case, for a good solid 2-week period, Cadence is going to have to handle all of the cooking and chores around the house because my right arm is going to be in a sling. It's going to be pretty much useless. So what I'm doing now, well, I still have most of the use of both my arms, is I'm getting a bunch of stuff squared away so that when Cadence has to make dinner, she doesn't got to do a whole bunch of cooking from scratch. She can just pop open a jar here and there, rehydrate this or that, and we have a healthy, nutritious dinner that tastes good. We're going to put in a decent store of canned, pre-cooked, plain turkey meat. Plain ground turkey meat. I love this stuff. It is so flippin' handy, it's ridiculous. Not only that, but only 10% fat. I'll tell you right now, growing up out here in the woods like I did, raised on, homegrown grass-fed beef and wild game, funny thing is, a lot of store-bought meat, if it has too much fat, wreaks havoc with my stomach. I love this stuff because the low fat content, it cans up awesome, and it keeps forever. It don't go rancid on you. So, I'm going to let y'all hang out with me while I can this stuff off today and get it put up for over the next couple of months. Okay, so here's our toolage. We got a case of brand new jars right here. I just bought some new ones because they're clean, sterile, ready to go. I can just load them up, throw them in the pressure cooker. Jar funnel, I'm hoping that'll help me keep the mess down. And rubber spatula. Plan is kind of raw with that. It's the smushing device. Okay. Oh, and a pair of scissors. 2. Obviously, yeah. So, here's what we're going to try first. Every time I do this, I wind up doing it differently. And I'm not going to lie, I'm trying not to have a huge mess to clean up when I'm done. So this stuff's fresh from the store. I just picked it up this morning.
Future Ben here, live from the editing chair. So, contrary to what this looks like, I actually do know what I am doing. It's just previously, when I've done this, I would just dump all of the raw ground turkey meat into a big old mixing bowl and, like, handful at a time, grab it and stuff it into the jar. Uh, I was actually trying not to make as big a mess here. That's why there's so much fumbling around. So yeah, uh, back to me getting my ass kicked by raw turkey burger.
Okay, so it's thawed out. What I'm hoping is I can just funnel and kind of squeezy into the jar. So let's see how that goes. I'm estimating that the jar will hold about a third of one of these 1 pound chubs. Well, that's not good. Okay. That's something that would have been nice to have known sooner. Okay, so got to be careful how we do that. I really hope the GoPro didn't just die. There we are. Oh, yeah, she's going in. Get in there. Oh, did I get too... Whoa! Okay. I might have gotten a little greedy. Ugh. Oh, no, we're good. I just need a better poking device. Really, I really wish I knew what happened to all my wooden spoons. I know it seems like I'm being kind of greedy and really trying to cram it in here, and you know, I'm not gonna lie, I am. Meat canning works better when you don't have a bunch of voids. That's one reason. And the other is I really am trying to get as close to a full pound of meat stuffed into each of these jars as I possibly can. We're gonna need a bowl. Okay, went a little over. That's okay, I got a bowl right here, so we'll just take a little bit out. You always want to leave a little bit of head space when you're canning anything, because otherwise your vacuum in your jar doesn't form properly. Okay, so let's smush around this side some. I'm just, what I'm doing here with my butter knife is just kind of packing everything down in there, because like I said, I want to utilize as much of the space as possible. Let's see if this works. Hold on to it and... Ugh. Oh, the shoulder does not like that. A lot of times, by smacking it like that, if you don't have a screwed up shoulder, you can get everything to settle down into the bottom, get rid of your voids like that. But that's not going to really hurt anything, so we're just going to let it ride like that. Okay, next jar. Like I said, I'm trying to get 3 jars per package, basically. You know, I mean, I don't like that. And the method that I'm doing here is called a raw pack, for reasons that are probably obvious. You know, I am just taking the raw turkey meat and packing it into the jars. It does what it says on the box, kind of thing. The reason I prefer to do my meats raw is if you're doing already cooked meat, to get everything to can properly, you have to add liquid, okay? Because the canning process, the pressure canning process, does not work at all if you're packing things that are completely dry. Your jars won't seal, you won't get a proper vacuum, you're going to have a bad time. You can do pre-cooked meat, absolutely. I just, myself, I find it to be a bit of a hassle. It doesn't really work for me because I don't really like the added steps of having to figure out just the right amount of liquid to add to every jar. Whereas packing it raw, your meat has not cooked yet, therefore you haven't taken any of the liquid out of it. Now, if you passed high school science class, you know that human beings are about 70% water. Well, every other animal is as well. Therefore, whatever the animal is, when you are stuffing its meaty bits into a jar, if you do it raw, then you don't have to add any liquid, because your liquid will cook out of the meat while it's canning. And you're not going to wind up eating raw meat when you're done, because your canning process is going to cook the meat for you. Well, I didn't quite pull off 3 jars per package. Wound up being 3.5. It's weird because, well, of course, by the time you account for headspace, I've probably only got about 12 ounces in each jar. And it's really not a huge deal anyway. I already know each of these jars is going to be enough meat for one meal for Cadence and I. And as far as what the meals are going to be, that's the cool part. Anything, it can literally be whatever we want. Anything that requires browning some sort of ground meat. I love making taco meat out of this stuff. It's actually my go-to for spaghetti and things like that because of the lower fat. And the cool thing about it is the first step of any of those things is brown 1 pound of whatever your meat is. Well, this will have that part of the process already done. The meat will already be browned. So, just go straight to the seasonings, be they Italian or taco or it's really good in the gravy for some good old-fashioned, well, at this point we're definitely more than 30 seconds into the video, so I can just call it what it is. Good old-fashioned shit on a shingle. Ask your grandparents about that one, kids. Just all around, Makes things easier. And this fall or winter, whenever one of these gets used, the process for making whatever it's going to be is just going to be pop open the jar, get it hot in a pan, and turn it into whatever it's going to be. I'm going to finish this up, and I'll get back with you when we're loading up the pressure cooker. Okay, so I got my big double stack pressure cooker heating up on my jet stove. It's 12:03. I started on this at about 11. My processing time is going to be 75 minutes for that big ass load of pint jars, and it'll probably take 15-20 minutes to get the kettle hot. It's a big girl. So 2.5 hours of actual work, and I've got meat cooked for 21 nights of dinner. Turns out I can't actually count. I said I had 18 pints. I have 21. So totally worth the effort. I mean, on top of that, something else to keep in mind too is if this was a weekend and not during the week, Cadence would have been home giving me a hand with the prep, so it would have probably got done in half the time. Maybe less, because she doesn't have to keep stopping to rest a bum shoulder. This is a great way to work around limited freezer space, because once the jars come out of there and cool and seal, they can go anywhere. You can stuff them in your sock drawer. I mean, it's good to go. No refrigeration needed, and it's already cooked. So it's a good way that you can have extra meat on hand without tying up space in your freezer. And it's a big time saver too. If you got a lot of kids that you got to feed, and you've got a long commute, or you've got after school activities going on, it's totally worth it to just get you a pressure cooker, even if it's not a great big one like the one I use. Okay, your typical raw packed meat, they're all pretty consistent in terms of processing time. It's all about 75 minutes for a pint, 90 minutes for a quart. Now, obviously, if there's more people in your family than just two, you want to use quarts, so you're not having as many dishes to do afterwards. And it really lets you take advantage of both bulk purchasing and sale prices. I was canning up name brand Genio turkey today because my local Walmart had it on sale for, I think it was $8 for one of those 3-pound chubs. It was actually cheaper than the store brand stuff. And I mean, I wound up buying a couple cases of jars just to be lazy, but I didn't actually have to, you know. And this stuff's going to can off, and it's going to go on the shelf, and it's going to get added to the rest of the stuff that I got in there. Right now, let's see, 20 pints of chili, 8 or 10 quarts of chicken breast. Each one of those chicken breast quarts is going to be 2 nights of dinner, because Cadence swore up and down that we actually eat more meat than we actually do. So 10 pints, 20 pints of chicken, and then another 20 pints of turkey. I got 60 days now before I got to mess with anything raw to make dinner. And we're not going to use this stuff every night. There's going to be nights where, we want a hamburger, or a pork chop, or something with fish, or I might stumble across a recipe online that I want to try and do something with fresh chicken breast, I mean, or pot roast. You know, the idea behind this isn't, you eat this every night. The idea behind this is when you got those days where your kids won't tell you what they want to eat, so you can pull it out of the freezer to thaw, or you just plain got so much stuff going on that you need something in a hurry. Uh, Here in well, it's going to be a week or two for me. It'll be possibly next episode, maybe the one after that for you guys. I'm going to show you how to throw together a really bomb dinner in the time it takes to boil water with nothing but stuff out of the pantry, stuff that you can all have on hand anytime. You might have to get creative with putting it away depending on your living situation. But it's all stuff that you can have ready to go that's healthy, quick, and easy to make. So I'll come back to y'all after these are done. Now's a good time to go hit that subscribe button, maybe the thumbs up. Hint, hint. And there you have it. 20 jars of fully cooked ground turkey meat swimming in its own broth. I don't know if you can see it or not, but a couple of them are still boiling. Oh, cool thing about this, it's all now shelf stable. It can just hang out wherever as long as you're keeping it out of the direct sunlight and someplace with good air circulation. This will be good for about a year. Now, with how hectic things get for Cadence and I, it probably won't last nearly that long. It'll probably all be gone by spring. But this is 20 nights that the time it takes to cook ourselves a healthy meal has been cut in half. I haven't decided exactly when yet, but sometime in the next few weeks, I'm going to drop a video that actually shows you how quick and easy it is to prepare a meal just strictly out of your pantry from a combination of store-bought, easy to preserve stuff, or store-bought preserved stuff, and home preserved things through various means, because it's absolutely worth it, especially if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of time to cook, or maybe you have an older kid like 12, 13 who's starting to learn how to cook but doesn't quite know like how to tell when meats are done and things like that. This is a great way to get your kids started making their own meals, where they get comfortable measuring things out using seasoning packets and things like that, and you remove the risk of everybody having to eat undercooked meat. So I'll see you next time. Till then, like, comment, subscribe, and have fun. Get out there and hit up some of them sales. Hey everybody, I know it's been a while. Kinda wound up having to have surgery on my shoulder. So I hope you enjoyed the two lost episodes. Starting over. Fucking cat. Move your tail.